Hi everyone, welcome to my review of Meze Audio's latest IM, which is called the Alba. Now the Alba is not an IM that as of the time of the filming of this video is yet up on their website. It has been released and it did sort of make an appearance at CanJam Singapore, and from my understanding it's also making an appearance at CanJam Shanghai. So this is as of 2024 May that I'm shooting this. So of course by the time this comes out it might be already on their website, and of course if you're watching this further into the future, then this might have become a household name by then, or at least I hope for Meze's sake that it does. So guys, this is just my honest opinion on what the Alba sounds like. It of course is a very beautiful IM, and Meze is no stranger to creating and conjuring up these beautiful IMs and headphones. I mean, Antonio Meze, from what I understand, is a designer, so he does design these stunning, immaculate products, whether it's Empyrean 1, 2, everything Meze has created till date has a total work of beauty, a total work of art, and a total joy. So even like the minute finishing here, the logoization here, like the lettering and the perfect sort of this effect of radiating outwards that you get from this sort of shell design, the kind of mother of pearl look, because it's not exactly white if you look very closely. It has a somewhat of a mother of pearl finish. These matching ear tips is just stunning, guys. So this is not the cable that it comes with. This is an aftermarket cable that I'm using because I do think this cable opens up the sound a bit, and you get this USB-C to headphone jack that comes free with the Meze Audio Alba. And it's a decent dongle. It's nothing to write home about, but this is a price point of $150, guys. So at this price point, I'm pretty impressed with everything that's here. I mean, the packaging is somewhat minimal. You get this paperwork, and then you get this rather cute carrying case. And I have fat fingers, and I don't have nails, so I'm going to struggle to take this out. But in any case, I have succeeded. So this is the carrying case. The pouch is also this beautiful shade of white, and it opens up and reveals another cable. So this cable is actually going to be more useful for you if you want to use this dongle, because this has a 3.5 mm termination, a bunch of white colored ear tips to stay in line with this sort of aesthetic thematic thing going on. And yeah, so this is useful. I think this is 32-bit 384 is its highest sort of sampling rate that it can deliver. Now, I do want to do some live listening with the Alba because I have listened to this. And just for fun, I thought it'd be interesting for me, and I hope for you, for me to do some live listening and impressions with the Meze Audio Alba. It's a $150 IM, guys. It is a very, very competitive price point, and I am pairing it or driving it with a $3,000 DAP, which is somewhat impractical because a lot of you who buy this IM will not necessarily drive this with the $3,000 DAP. That being said, I think it makes sense to me because I want to see what is the maximum possible potential of the Meze Audio Alba. Because guys, I mean, I deal with a lot of high-end stuff. If you followed my work on Amplify focuses mostly on a lot of high-end products. That's just been my journey. That's just what I, that's my jam. So I will have that sort of reference, right? So I want to see what the best possible sound is that I can get from the Alba. Sorry for shaking the camera. So without further ado, I'm going to drive this with my Sony W1ZM2 DAP and see what it sounds like. But these are not correctly plugged in because this would be... So this gold-plated or gold-colored connector is supposed to go on the right. And... so you get a sense of the connectors as well. Pretty well finished, I have to say, for this price point. There are a few IMs at this price point that I like, namely the Sennheiser IE200, which I've reviewed in the past, and the Letshore S12 and the S12 Pros are also very decent for the price. So it does go up against pretty stiff competition, especially the Sennheiser IM I really, really liked for its timbre and slight V-shaped sound and pretty decent technicalities for the price. So I have put these earphones into my ears, and I'm going to be playing first and foremost AC/DC's track "You Shook Me All Night Long" from Back in Black. I just saw the stream of consciousness real time review would be interesting. So the Albas are not the final word on clarity. This track also, I think, is not mastered to the degree that I think a lot of other tracks are on my list. But it does sound on this track ever so slightly fuzzy. But it's a single dynamic driver. It's a 10.88 dynamic driver. So I'm getting a decent amount of bass texture. And it's quite resolving for $150. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be able to guess its price point if you just told me that the price was 100. If I just listened to this without knowing the price point, right? I'm getting very good separation. The lead guitar coming in at this point of the track is very well separated. So, classic image separation. The lead guitar sounds timbrally spot on. And it just sounds very realistic. Great micro dynamics. So these are small inflections of volume that are coming through. And decent macro dynamics. The cymbal crashes are very prominent. So it sounds largely natural and neutral. So this is Seal, Kiss from a Rose, just to sort of get a sense of male vocals. Great imaging once again. I'm getting a great sense of left to right imaging. And as a matter of fact, even within 2 tracks in, so I've listened to this before, by the way, but even 2 tracks in, I do think the Alba is defeating almost everything else that I've heard for imaging. Lovely warm tonality here. Male vocals of Seal in this case sounds warm, melodic. The song itself is rhythmic because I'm hearing percussion instruments and guitars on the side very beautifully. Good soundstage, guys. This is pretty decent soundstage. So these are songs I've played to death. So songs I've played hundreds of times with different IEMs. So that's the reason why I'm playing these tracks again. And the chorus comes in very well put together. It's a very cohesive sound as you'd expect from a single dynamic driver. It does do justice to the hype that a lot of people associate or feel nowadays towards single dynamic drivers. Sounds very analog. Anathema, this track is called You're Not Alone. I've played this track several times. Drum work is fantastic, very well textured and nuanced. I can make out the individual drum heads very well. Yeah, and a decent sort of front to back stage. So this should have some good bass. So this is Solomon Burke, Don't Give Up on Me. It's a lovely track. And again, male vocals sound fantastic on this. I want to see if I can play some female vocals here. This Robert Plant track sounds amazing. 29 Palms. So this has a big soundstage. This in no way sounds like a $200 or $150 IM, guys. $350 is what I would peg the price point as if I had to sort of guess. I'm not going to pay Papa Roach. Holy Diver, Kill Switch Engage. It's of course a cover. Nice, punchy dynamics. Someone else tried the Alba with, I think, a lesser sort of source, and it didn't punch as hard for whatever reason. That was the Q-Style product, but on my Sony, this is punching quite hard, guys. And very well put together. I mean, I would play metal with this. Overall, I think I would say finally some female tracks. I would say this is a warm sounding IM quite easily. Again, great front to back stage because Amy Winehouse's voice sounds like it's coming from the right distance. It's not too forward. And the stage is, large enough with instruments well separated. So all that stuff, the technicalities here, impressive. Chorus comes in, sounds great. Well spaced out sounds from the vocalist and the images, again, are well spaced out. Okay, so this is an exciting IM, guys. I've heard this before of different sources, but not in a very critical way. And I'll keep listening to this, but I definitely think that, given what I've heard so far, this is a very impressive IM, a very impressive effort from Meze Audio. I've not paid much attention. I haven't had the time to, frankly, I haven't had a lot of listening time with the previous IMs, with either the Advar or the others. But I'm a big connoisseur of their headphones, and I love what they do with the Empyrean One, which I think was, to some extent, got some mixed reviews from some reviewers. But most people who own the Meze Empyrean One loved it and still love it. The Empyrean 2 is a wonderful addition to their lineup, as is the Elite, of course. And I think this is a huge win. These are some impressive IEMs, guys. But you do have to take into account the fact that I'm using an aftermarket cable. Using their stock cable, I did not get the same level of warmth and largeness of sound. A lot of cheaper IEMs don't give me a large sound. And by that I mean images just sound feeble and smallish and more compressed. The stage sounds compressed. But with this, for whatever reason, the single dynamic drivers and maybe also the fact that I'm using slightly wider bore tips, which are stock tips by the way, I am getting a large sound, large images. I'm getting like a big sound without any part of the frequency response being too forward. It's not like there's a lot of forward treble here. There isn't. It's a warm sounding IEM. It's not like it's got any upper mid shout, and it doesn't. It's fairly pleasant and warm. Very classic Meze sound, but it is so well put together. Imagine the classic Meze sound in a single dynamic driver form. And a lot of single dynamic driver efforts from different manufacturers, whether it's Final Audio or Turi TI from Soft Ears, have been a bit skewed in the treble, right? Has been a bit brightish. The Dita Perpetua is one dynamic driver that doesn't sound bright. It sounds beautiful and warm. The Campfire Cascara is another single dynamic driver that sounds warm and smooth and lovely. And of course, you have the Singaporean Wonder, guys, from Nijar Acoustics. Singularity also sounds warm. This is very much in that same family, in that same class of single dynamic drivers that sound engulfing, large, warm, with well spaced out and very impressive imaging. This gets the highest recommendation from me, guys, the Meze Audio Alba. It's simply wonderful. And just to finish up and share some marketing material that I found on the internet. So this is from whathifi.com, because there isn't a lot of information on the Alba as of the time of shooting this. It's a Romanian phrase. It means the first light, very poetic, and it's a $150 price point. It uses materials like zinc alloy and anodized aluminum. It's got a 2-pin connector, as you saw, and of course it's got a 10.88 mm dynamic driver, 32 ohms impedance, and 109 dB sensitivity, so it's fairly easy to drive. So that's it, guys. Thumbs up for me. This is a great IEM, and I do hope that you get to listen to this. Sajid Amit signing out, and stay tuned for my next one. Bye-bye.